a strategy after Vijay's emphatic rise. Then you've got India, that's on economy. Today is that red letter day. But can green fuel power the country's energy future? And then in our final segment, we speak about cricket. Is this the end of the road for the hitman Rohit Sharma? Reports say Lords could witness the hitman's final ODI. Three big stories, one power-packed debate. You're watching In Your Interest with me, Kabir Naqvi. First, the top headlines. Prime Minister Narendra Modi's triple attack on the Aam Aadmi Party, Congress and Akali Dal all together in Jalandhar. Calls the Aam Aadmi Party a dishonest party, the Akali Dal a self-serving party, and targets the Congress over its infighting in the state of Punjab. Meanwhile, that historic milestone for the country as Prime Minister Narendra Modi flagged off India's first hydrogen-fueled train from Jind to Sonipat. The train produces only water vapor and heat as byproducts. No smoke, no emissions, marking a monumental shift from the conventional train setup. The special investigation team arrests former temple officer Rajendra Chauhan in the Badrinath temple donation theft. Andy Burnham set to become the next UK Prime Minister as Labour Party leader names former Manchester Mayor as its leader. For quite some time now, Tamil Nadu politics revolved around one familiar battle, DMK versus the AIA-DMK. But in 2026, that equation was dramatically rewritten. The biggest disruptor wasn't just a new party, it was a new generation of voters behind that party. Actor-turned-politician Vijay's TVK rode an unprecedented wave of first-time and Gen Z support, shaking one of India's most entrenched political ecosystems. For the first time in decades, Tamil Nadu's youth didn't merely participate in an assembly elections, they pretty much reshaped it for the larger rubric of the country. And now the response has begun, the course correction as it were. The DMK is preparing for what could be its biggest organizational overhaul in years, a proposed 50-50 leadership formula aiming to bring the Gen Z into the party's decision-making structure without displacing the senior leaders, hence the 50-50. New organizational posts, more district units, a stronger and expanded youth wing, and a modern digital outreach strategy. They're all set to be part of this new reset. And the message seems to be clear as well. The battle for Tamil Nadu's future will be fought for the youth vote. Because this isn't just about one election, it's about who connects with a generation that lives on social media, that breathes on social media, values aspiration over legacy, and increasingly votes for personality as much as it votes for ideology. Exit poll data suggested TVK dominated amongst the younger voters with overwhelming support from first-time voters and a strong backing across the under-30 demographic. Whether those numbers perfectly reflect the final mandate or not, well, they have clearly forced every political party to rethink their strategy. And the stakes are enormous as well. Tamil Nadu has nearly 1.8 crore citizens between the ages of 18 and 30. Across India, that number rises to almost 38 crore. So, are youth now decoding our elections? No political party can afford to ignore that demographic. Are we witnessing a temporary electoral wave, or is this the beginning of a permanent generational realignment in Indian politics? Can the DMK successfully reinvent itself without losing its traditional identity? Can actor turned politician Chief Minister Vijay convert this youth enthusiasm into long-term political organization, not just a story about one election or electoral setback? And is Tamil Nadu showing the rest of India what elections of the future will look like? Let's open this up. This is a fascinating political conversation, and we've got our guests representing the TVK perspective, talking about the DMK strategy, and of course, independent political analysis also on the table for all our viewers. R. Suresh Kumar, senior journalist, many thanks for taking on the time, sir. Shekhar Vijay, political analyst with us on the broadcast. Many thanks, Shekhar. And Rajalakshmi Joshi, political analyst. Long time no see, Rajalakshmi. Many thanks for taking time out and speaking to us here on News 9. You see, let's get the snowball rolling here, Mr. Suresh Kumar. This 50-50 leadership formula, it clearly acknowledges that the DMK drifted away from the youth, or what the idea and imagination of the youth really was. Do you think this new formula, this new Gen Z rejig, this Gen Z course correction by the DMK is genuine introspection, or is this simply damage control that we saw after a thumping mandate going towards the TVK side?
In the 2026 assembly elections in Tamil Nadu, the age between 18 and 35, both men and women, overwhelmingly supported TVK.
Yeah.
That is the reason Joseph Vijay could secure 107 seats. That was the reason. The Gen Z played a major role, and their social media, the reach to the youth. That was another one reason which happened. But now the DMK is all out, strengthening the Gen Z. There are a lot of...
Do you think it will work? Do you think it will work? And why I'm asking you this, Mr. Suresh Kumar, is because, you see, it's not just about the approach or the strategy. We've seen it in the case of Tamil Nadu alone, that it's not just about ideology, it's also about the individual. So there is a celebrity factor that comes into play. Now, whether that's going to reap long-term dividends, we'll have to wait and find out. But do you think this new course correction, and we're again waiting for Udhanidhi Stalin because he's in London, the gentleman will have to come back and then they will sort of rejig it again. Are they a little slow? Because this is not the first Gen Z event that DMK has done. They did so in the past as well.
Mr. Kabir, see, after the elections, DMK's debacle, a committee was set up, a 36-member committee, and they've given a report to DMK President M.K. Stalin. What went wrong, constituency-wise, why they failed. We get reports about 45 to 50 district secretaries are going to be removed from the party. And youth will be placed as district secretaries. That's a good move. The future hope for DMK now is leader of opposition, Udhanidhi Stalin. He is a next phase. That is between Joseph Vijay and Udhanidhi Stalin. The election is going to be like that.
Okay.
It will start from 2029 parliament polls itself. It is going to go that way. And DMK is making strong their footwork amongst the youth. That is what. And they're going to change and add a lot of senior district secretaries.
It's going to be very interesting to see whether that actually works out, because, sir, creating posts is one thing, and you also want to keep hold of 50% of those senior office bearers. But will the Gen Z actually get decision-making power? That's something that we'll have to wait and find out. I'm going to come back to you. Mr. Vijayan, what's your assessment here? Many argue that, Chief Minister Vijay's popularity as a film star, it powered the TVK and the TVK's thumping majority. That was a big reason, which is why I'm again saying it's not just the ideology, it's the individual and the man behind that, that banner and that whistle symbol. How do you convince the voters in this setup that this movement, this fiefdom that Vijay is enjoying this time around can actually outlast the celebrity appeal that comes with Vijay?
Gabi, thank you for having me over. I think the political parties have smelled the coffee, and they've also realized that if you want to win elections, it's not just about, rallies, posters and cater networks. It's also about how do you appeal to Gen Z. Gen Z is the future of the country. And, it's about Instagram Reels, YouTube Shorts.
Yeah.
Also, that's the algorithm, right? And I think political parties need to understand that. Now, Vijay has won purely based on his appeal, purely based on what he promised and what he's delivering right now. And he's also walking the talk as we talk. When he won the elections, I think a lot of us were talking about his 90-day action plan. I think more than anything else, it's about what really you need to understand the pulse of the nation. You need to understand the pulse of what the youngsters want, what the Gen Z wants, and what the voter really wants. It's about, three simple things: healthcare, administration, and law and order, and also becoming accessible as a party. It's good to see DMK doing this. It's good to see DMK actually taking this on and saying, okay, let us, combat them on this. But I think what's important is it's not just doing this for optics, but are you really making an impact? Are you really making sure that everything works as per plan? It's good to make Instagram shorts, Instagram reels, and but how accessible are you? Are you solving issues? Are you solving real problems? Are you making sure the end user or the end voter is satisfied? Because that's what we all vote for. We want a government which is crime free. We want a government which is corruption free. We want a government which is issue free.
Absolutely.
And I think that's what Vijay is looking at right now.
But don't you think that applies to the TVK as well? And it's too soon to really, put out an assessment of what the TVK has been doing, a 100-day action plan, a 200-day action plan. I'm trying to understand whether the voters will be convinced that this entire fiefdom that Chief Minister Joseph Vijay is enjoying at this point in time, it will outlast the celebrity appeal that comes with it. Because right now, many of them stepped out and voted for the actor, not the Chief Minister.
Yeah, and so I think the things which he's been doing in the recent past, in terms of making sure Tamil Nadu is corruption-free, even the steps he has taken, these are all symbolic steps, but he's also held himself at a higher barometer, and he has to maintain that. His credibility is really important here. He can't just be speaking about things, but how is he delivering as a party? How is this party delivering is going to be important.
Yeah.
And that's where the real proof of the pudding lies, Kabir. How they really make this happen, and how they also ensure that this is something they should not step back down from. Like they say in the Dark Knight or the Joker, I think you do not want to end up like a villain in this. You want to be a hero in this, right? You want to make sure that whatever you do, at the end of the day, the voter is satisfied. Whatever you do, you have to make sure that your government runs, manages things well. And I think that's going to be Vijay's biggest problem. It's also going to be his credibility also, because his credibility is at stake and he has to deliver from day one. I think if he's doing it, it's great. It also shows that other parties are really keen and they want to win like him, which just goes to show that, like you said, DMK...
Yeah. You're right on one point. The other parties think that TVK has done something right and they do want to follow suit. Rajalakshmi, what's your opinion here? Are we overestimating the Vijay factor, or has Tamil Nadu genuinely, shifted its paradigm when it comes to politics? We know that it has entered a post-Dravidian, a more personality-driven political era, but is it here to stay? Shekhar Vijayan said that the voters have smelt the coffee, but how long before they smell the coffee again and understand this is all algorithm, nothing else?
Hello, Kabir, and it is good to be on your show again. And yes, a lot of things have changed in Tamil Nadu. And if you have noticed, most of these dynastic parties, yes, I'm going to go out and say that. Because here, a lot of these parties, they have power concentrated in just a few individuals. And especially so in the DMK. And even in the AIDMK, there were key leaders, like there were larger than life leaders like MGR and Jayalalitha. So all of that. So now, this generation of youth, this Gen Z especially, they have not really witnessed any of these leaders, and they are not really fascinated by their charm. So they are not really touched by any of that. And also, they do not really connect with this Dravidian politics. And to add to it, very efficiently, Joseph Vijay has actually positioned himself, and he has created this perception that both these parties, the establishment, he has spoken against the establishment per se. So he has created this image that he is against the establishment and that he is going to bring in a new era of Tamil Nadu politics. So that is a kind of a message. Now, not everything is going as per what he had actually promised, I would say, because he has actually joined hands with a lot of the people that he had actually campaigned against. And to add to it, some of the things, he has had to kind of compromise also on some of the issues. So he has had to maybe join hands with some of these Dravidian forces themselves. So all of that is not going to go well in his favor. Now, coming to the DMK actually has got 50% of it right, I would say. Now they're looking at this 50% addition of seats, addition of positions.
Yeah.
But like you almost
But
stole
do you
my
think
words.
this step, Rajalakshmi, do you think this step is going to, come to fruition? Can a party like the DMK, of course, some dynastic faces over there, consolidation of power in just a few figureheads, but with that consolidation of power comes actual money strength, comes financial strength, comes actual administrative strength. Do you think a party like the DMK can successfully modernize, looking at this new blueprint that TVK has now got to offer without diluting the ideology, the identity that it thrives on as well?
Yes, very interesting, Kabir. You almost stole my words when you spoke about how the power, the DMK has still kept 50% of their power intact. So, the words that they have used, that they do not want to upset the senior leadership. And at the same time, they
Okay.
want to bring in new, fresh blood. Now, the problem with that is that here, what happens is, now there may be a lot of problems, there may be a lot of issues with a lot of these senior leaders, but then you can't let go of them because they have a hold on the electorate. That is not how things go in the BJP. So that is the reason why you have the BJP, on a completely different tangent if you look at it in terms of electoral victories. And this is exactly the
Okay.
reason why some of these dynastic parties are not able to actually keep up with the BJP, because now they cannot let go of some of these senior leaders, even if they may not be performing well, even if they may be doing something wrong,
Yeah.
which the Gen Z finds
You see, the
absolutely
entire media
unacceptable.
industry has changed as well. Today, we call it a media verse. A single satellite broadcast is not going to help you or get you any favors. You will have to be out there on the social media platforms. I'm sure Shekhar Vijay knows what I'm talking about. But Mr. Suresh Kumar, you see, my question here is because Rajalakshmi spoke about how the consolidation of power has been kept intact. 50-50. 50 new faces, fresh young faces, and 50 old guard senior office bearers. And for decades, the DMK has relied on its ideology, on welfare, on organizational strength. These are things that are synonymous with the Dravida Munitra Kajgam. Now, the thing is that today's Gen Z, it seems to respond completely differently to these things. And my question here is, with the old guard that is also kept intact, will these creation of new posts, will it bring the Gen Z actually together? Will it give it more decision-making power in terms of candidate selection? Or these are just new designations and lip service? Not much will change. Just the fact that you will have a young guy standing on the stage so that the youth can better relate.
Kabir, DMK has to go into this. They'll have to have 50-50 and seniors should cooperate with the youth. There is nothing, if they don't cooperate, then they lead historical defeat in the parliament elections. So they'll have to get into work from day one. And that is happening. From the ground level, we get sources that DMK is all out now. All out. And interesting point I want to mention.
Yeah.
The candidates of TVK, 60 candidates were from the other parties. Other parties. That is Dravidian parties. So TVK is also hatching up and hotting up with only Dravidian policies. Nothing else. They take Periyar, Ambedkar, Dr. MGR. That's all Dravidian policies.
Yeah.
They are also Dravidian policies, only they are running the government. One thing is sure, the Dravidian parties like DMK and ADMK, you cannot take them out of the politics in the state. They will be always there.
The
There'll be
numbers
ups
would
and
suggest
downs.
completely otherwise, sir. I mean, I agree where you're coming from, but this time around, the debacle with the AIADMK, and look at, to what point did DMK had to be pushed down to, I think, just 59 seats, less than 60 this time around? I mean, this is nothing short of a debacle in its own sense.
Yeah, debacle means all this Congress, they ditched DMK. They won 12 MPs because of DMK. From 2019, they have been winning parliament seats, 2021 assembly seats, then Rajya Sabha seat. and they want 5
Okay.
seats. With
So,
DMK alliance.
you're saying
Then they
that
discontinued
it can
it.
still happen. The DMK has to do this.
One second.
Yeah.
All the parties who had alliance with the DMK only left to TVK, and they are safeguarding the minority government of TVK. So the parties who have gone inside, VCK, CPI, CPM, IUML, all are Dravidian ideologies parties. So any time, if any ideological differences between TVK and these partners happen, they will quit.
Yeah, but for a debutant to score about 110, 108 marks is absolutely phenomenal in a state like Tamil Nadu, which was usually a swing state. Of course, he needs help. Of course, they need help. Look at what's happened in Bihar. People who were actually at each other's throats are in power collectively together. That's how politics works here, sir.
Bihar politics is different.
But I'll understand the operative part that you suggested.
RJD lost badly because of Congress.
The operative portion of your answer, which does stick with me right now, and I think the viewers will take that home as well, is that the DMK can still do it, but they need to do it right now. This entire modernization that they're talking about. Shekhar, you see, let's assume for a second that the DMK has begun promoting the young leaders. They do it aggressively, and then you have these young faces out there. In that scenario, because Mr. Suresh Kumar said that the parliamentary election is going to be a TVK versus Joseph versus Udaynidhi Stalin. That's going to be the face-off. If the DMK begins promoting these young leaders aggressively, does that reduce the TVK's political advantage? Do you think so? It's going to happen so soon? What's your idea and assessment and reading of that?
I think only time will tell. And one thing, we are talking about TVK or, winning. Nobody in the media or none of us had a clue that Vijay would really win, right? The way he's won, actually his numbers spoke for itself. Yeah. The way TVK is won, when they are governing right now, it speaks for itself. The fact is, if they've done something right, which is they've appealed to Gen Z. Gen Zs have come out in huge numbers and voted not as Gen Z, but as families. I am a coach, I have worked with Gen Z, and I can tell you most of them wanted to vote for him because they find him very aspirational, they find the party very aspirational. We have to understand that. And if DMK is copying it, imitation is the best form of flattery. And I think what they're really figuring out is, can we have, both Udaynidhi Stalin versus Vijay? I think it works. Now with Annamalai also coming into picture, there will be a third force, hopefully in the future. But I'm saying this is the way the world is going to operate. We have to also got to look at a future where parties are not going to be unipolar, Kabir, like what we're seeing in Maharashtra. You will have coalition politics happening. That is going to be the blueprint of the future. So your regional parties are going to make a difference, but you will have to merge and collaborate with like-minded parties also. And that's what they really did. So ultimately, at the end of the day, it's what Gen Z wants, Gen Z gets, and because they are the ones who are voting for them at the end of the day.
Okay, all right. Rajalakshmi, what's your, I'm going to give you the final closing comment here. Across the country, across India, and we'll flash some of those numbers as well. The youth population in Tamil Nadu, the youth population across the country, the youth essentially deciding our electoral fate. Across the country, we are seeing these young voters consume politics through Instagram, through YouTube, shorts, just like Mr. Vijay was talking about. And of course, the political influences. Is Tamil Nadu simply reflecting a national trend? That, hey, the youngsters will decide who's going to govern us, and this new trend is here to stay. So the other states should also start working, not just Tamil Nadu alone.
Yes, very true, Kabir. Very frankly, the DMK has banked very heavily on their Tamil identity. I mean, there's nothing wrong to be proud of your identity. There's nothing wrong in it. But that can't be the only thing. So now here, there are these political parties, there is especially the DMK, who always talks about the North versus the South, who talks about, say, maybe alienating the Hinduism from, they keep talking against Hinduism. So all those kind of negative kind of a approach, that is not going to work. So the youths, the Gen Z will obviously want to have opportunities all over the country and outside as well. Yeah. So they do not really want something like, you are not supposed to learn this other language, or that we are a separate identity, or that this is the oldest language. Yes, all of that is a matter of pride, but that can't be the thing that you focus on.
It is layered, it is sensitive, you're absolutely right.
Jobs, on opportunities. So all of that, whoever offers those things to the youth, whoever says that, yes, we are going to give you opportunities and make the entire country something that we all can be proud of, I think that is something that can appeal to the youth, not something that says that we are separate and they are separate and the North is something stupid and the South is something intelligent. And so ultimately, if somebody from the South wants to have good opportunities with people from the North, then they need to be able to communicate. You can't really alienate one section or one part of the country and say that, yes, we are superior and they are inferior. I don't think that is what will appeal to the youngsters. So having pride is different, but arrogance is different, Kabir.
No, that's a pertinent point that you've raised here, Rajalakshmi. I think that socio-cultural, socio-political, blurred line, I think it's going to stay here. It's going to be very difficult to, put that entirely away, because there is political mileage that is, drawn by the parties on that particular front and by the people as well. People hold their pride and culture, just like you pointed out very correctly, very close to their hearts. They wear it on their sleeves in places like, down south in Tamil Nadu specifically. But the bigger question is that this revamp that the DMK is trying to bring about, whether it's going to reap any benefits for them. This 50-50 formula, are they already too late? Because the battle for Tamil Nadu is no longer just about ideology or legacy. It's becoming about aspiration, just like Joseph Vijay, what he brings to the table, an ambitious leader, an aspirational leader, about identity, which you just pointed out, about the pride that the population of Tamil Nadu have in their heart for their state and their motherland and the tongue. And of course, the next generation, which works on algorithms. So the question is pretty much, linear. Can the DMK reconnect with the Gen Z, or not just the DMK, the AIA DMK, or any of those parties? And if this is the national trend, all the other parties that are watching this, can they reconnect with the Gen Z before the Gen Z permanently moves on? That's one question that we'll leave the viewers with. Mr. Suresh Kumar, many thanks for taking out the time. Mr. Vijayan, always a pleasure to have you with us. Rajalakshmi, long time no see. Keep coming to In Your Interest. It was good to have you with us today. All right, then, we're going to slip into a quick commercial breather here. On the other side, our second segment on Indian Railways' new hydrogen story. We need to talk about that. We need to talk about its significance and decode that for you. Don't go anywhere.
आगे आगे